That's the coup de grace right there. When somebody you don't know tags you in it, that's a beautiful feeling. And by doing this publicly, you might look like you're not worthy of the position the people got you in. What is good with you, ladies and gentlemen? It's your man's meticulous and multi-talented Mark W coming at you one more time yet again. How are you? Y'all know I don't do that greeting often, but every now and again I gotta remind you of who I am. Welcome back to another Am I the Asshole music story episode. Today is another good one. User submitted as always, and if you want to add your story to the mix, just go ahead and hit the link in the description, add your story, leave out the names. I just want the truth. And if it's your first time here, you should know I do this for the overlooked, the underbooked, and the overprepared. You're not solo in this, you're just meticulous. Am I the asshole for calling out my friends for only supporting me once I started gaining clout? This is a good one. This is good. I think a lot of us have felt like this, especially when it comes to our friends who post up the celebrity stuff, but fail to support our stuff with the repost. This could get interesting. For years, I've been making music. Real music. I never asked for much, just that my friends repost once in a while, pull up to a show if they could, maybe share a video here and there, basic stuff. I will say this, it does feel nice when your friends and family do repost your stuff. For all those watching, if you got a friend that does music, every once in a while, just repost something, like it, leave a comment, and I do have to stress that part, like and leave a comment. Some people just like and keep it moving. If you're not gonna make a comment, repost it, but like it, leave a comment. It could be a fire emoji, even though that gets a little redundant after a while. Do something a little extra for your friend that's doing music. That little bit you wouldn't understand goes a long way. Most didn't. They watched, they followed silently. Some would hit me with, "You still doing that music thing?" Hey, yeah, look, don't say that. You still doing the music thing? Because that devalues what I'm doing. That diminishes what it is that I believe in. Don't do that. Are you still making music? How is your career going? How's your music career going? When's your next project coming out? All of these things essentially say the same thing, but when you just say, "Oh, you still doing that music thing?" It sounds like, "Oh, you still doing that little shit?" It don't feel good. It don't feel good. That's a good way to get out of my inner circle of friends. Others would tell me I'm low-key slept on, then go right back to posting celebrity albums and industry rollouts on their stories. See, even with that comment saying, like, "Oh man, you slept on," but then you don't follow through with that. The follow through is what matters here. Man, you slept on. But it becomes hollow when you go back to reposting the latest Future song, when you go back to reposting the latest Drake song, the latest Kendrick song, Cole, all these people you don't actually know. If you really support this artist that you know, do the same for them when they have a rollout coming out. Don't just let them go by the wayside unnoticed, because that hurts a lot. Still, I kept working. I built my sound. I upgraded my visuals. I studied what worked. I learned the business. I didn't skip steps, and finally, something hit. Congratulations to you. You did the things that you're supposed to do, and you got hit with something that worked. That's preparation meets opportunity. And unfortunately, that doesn't happen like that all the time. So while something did hit for you, anybody else listening to this story right now, you can do all the necessary things and it might not hit for you. And I need you to understand, like, when that happens, revert back to what music and artistry actually does for you, outside validation, outside of monetary compensation. And this is hard to say because I'm going through it myself, but you gotta find your square and sit on that for a second. Don't look at this story and say, "Oh, I did all the things and then something hit," as the regular occurrence. It's beautiful when it happens, but not as often as a lot of us would like. Take that with a grain of salt. Remember the things that you do this for. I have to stress that. It doesn't have much to do with the story, but I have to stress that for you. One of my songs caught a moment. Not viral, but enough. New followers, a little blog attention, a write-up. A few local influencers reposted it. People I'd never met started tagging me in videos. That's the coup de grace right there. When somebody you don't know tags you in it, that's a beautiful feeling. It's almost better than when somebody you know reposts your video. Personally, I love when people I know repost my video. But when someone I don't repost my video above the blogs, above the social media stuff, oh, well, we're all talking about social media, but above the blogs, above the interviews, above the write-ups, When someone I don't know reposted, that means what I've created connected with them. It might not mean that. It might just be something they thought sounded cool. But in the lunacy of my mind, it means they connected with it. It means it touched them some type of way. Yeah, beautiful moment. Hey, since I got you here, if you have a wild story, janky promoters, studio drama, anything that made you question who was the real problem, I want to hear about it. I'm building this Am I the Asshole music story series off of real stories from people like you. The link is in the description. It's anonymous and it's safe. I don't need your name. I just need the truth. And while you're here, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the page so you don't miss the next one. All right, let's get back to the chaos. Then suddenly, the same friends who barely acknowledged me before were all in. Now they're reposting. Now they're commenting like day ones. They were saying things like, I always knew you'd get your shine. I already know how that feels. It feels fake. It feels hollow. And it feels like, save that. Save that. I've been there multiple times. I don't say it out loud when I've had moments. Like you said, not viral, just enough. And then people come out and say, hey, you doing it? I know where you were and I know where you weren't. Please save that for yourself. Now, on the other side of that, that's not to say that they weren't. That's to say that they might have gotten tired being the only ones. And that's valid. People do get tired of being the only person that comes to your show. They get tired of being the only person that reposts. Some people don't, but majority of people who do have lives outside of you will get tired of that. And you also have to realize people have lives outside of your music. Music consumes us, doesn't consume everybody else. Give grace where due. No, you didn't. You watched me bleed for this and stayed quiet while the room was empty. So I called it out, not by name, but publicly. And that is where it's going to be dicey and it's going to be hard to say that you're not the asshole here. The reality of being in a public space, you have to carry yourself a certain way. Me and my wife were just talking about this the other day. You have to carry yourself in a way that's approachable. What you just did by calling people out for not being supportive, regardless of how true it is, regardless of how factual it is in a moment as to what you feel, that will get you painted as somebody who is ungrateful. You're in a space, in a public space where you have to be grateful for everything you receive. Even if you're not, you have to make it look that way. And by doing this publicly, you might look like you're not worthy of the position the people got you in. I posted something about how it's wild how support becomes so convenient once other people validate you first. The real support doesn't wait for cosigns. It shows up in silence. Again, doesn't matter how right you are right now, because please believe me, you're 100% right. I'm right there with you. I share that sentiment with you. You're gonna be looked at like the asshole because on a public forum, you're saying to the people who are supporting you, calling themselves day ones, nah, they ain't real. So that's gonna make it look like everybody else who supports, who also feel like day ones, they might not know you, but they just found out about you yesterday. So today is their day one. They're gonna feel like, oh, this is how they treat their supporters? Well, let me jump ship right now. The ship can crash as soon as it set sail. You're kind of painting a bad picture for yourself. People hit me behind the scenes saying I was being dramatic, that maybe they just didn't realize how close I was to a breakthrough, that I should be grateful anyone's posting me now. And yes, you should. Regardless of how it actually is, because we know how it actually is. You have to present this grateful facade, for lack of a better word, but also look at it as they didn't have to do anything. They could have been like, oh, you're gonna flop tomorrow. There is a balance you could strike. Honestly, the better thing to do, and that's like being the bigger person, give them a DM and say, hey man, I thank you. Appreciate you. They did go out their way to say something. Regardless if you feel like it's real or not, the reality is they did make mention of you. It was late. It could have came a lot sooner, but they did say something, and that's worth acknowledging too. But to me, it felt fake. It felt like they were only supporting me once I became socially viable to do so. And I don't want performative love. I want the real thing, even if it's quiet. So yeah, I made that post. I vented. So, am I the asshole for calling out my own circle for only showing support once things started moving, even though technically they are supporting me now? The verdict is in. I hate to cast this on you because you sound like somebody who's really about this music, who's really about authenticity, and that's awesome. but you're the asshole. Simply put, you're the asshole because now you look like you're ungrateful that support is coming in. Doesn't matter when it comes. If support is coming, welcome that. Another reality that you have to get comfortable with, this life don't revolve around you and what you need. You don't know what your people got going on in the background. You don't know what they dealing with. Are you showing up for them like that? Because I haven't heard you say that. I haven't heard you say you show up for your supporters when they need it. That's big here too. If you want that same support, you got to give it right back. And I guarantee they'll show it to you even more so. Now, it might not look how you want it to, a post, a follow, a comment, a like. If they don't do that, but anytime you call them, they pick up and you can vent to them about, oh man, I want this to happen, I want that to happen. That's support too. These are all forms of support that are worth acknowledging, but you also have to realize this music life only revolves around you and maybe a close few that are in that life with you or adjacent. But to expect your peoples to always be supporting you 24/7, anytime you drop anything, especially with how fast social media works these days, that's kind of unreasonable. When you go on a public platform and bash people who you call fake, other people who just got on board with you are a little skittish now. Ooh, they might label me as fake. I don't want to be labeled fake, especially by someone I don't know. I think the best course of action here, thank those who show love. Listen to those who don't. Stay focused on yourself. Worried about the things you need to worry about. Champion those who champion you. You're always gonna win. You know what I mean? And you're never gonna be seen as somebody who's not grateful. Because right now, you seem ungrateful. I get it. Don't get it twisted. I know the sentiment. I know exactly I feel it all the time. So give some grace. Appreciate those who show you love. Support those who support you first. Or support them before they support you, and you'll get that love back. But yeah, unfortunately here, you're the asshole. But that's me, that's my thoughts. Please let me know what you think in the comments, and please remember to be respectful, be nice in there, all right? Hey, hold up, before you go, if you enjoyed this Am I the Asshole story, please make sure you click the playlist on the screen. The rest of the stories go just as hard, and some of them a little bit harder than this one. I'm trying to give you these stories weekly, and possibly faster, but I need y'all to keep watching. So click the playlist on the screen and stay tapped in. And hey, if you have a wild music story, don't hold back. Go ahead and click the link in the description and submit your Am I the Asshole moment. It could be your story I break down next. Tap in with me. You know I tap back. Peace.
Everything meticulous.